Hey, how is everyone doing on this Thursday evening? Welcome to Snap Talk with Chandra. I'm a little late, you guys, so forgive me. And I just, hello to all of you that are just joining in. Make sure you let me know where you're joining in from, city, state, country, if it's out the country. Hello, Tanika, Kimberly. Thank you for joining me on tonight. I have been wanting to get on to talk about this topic. So this month is dedicated to everything dealing with entrepreneurship. And each and every month I'll be talking about a certain theme. And I wanted to hop on and talk about just some of the things that I go through as an entrepreneur, as a creator. And I know if I have some of these feelings and issues and things of that sort, I know some of you guys that are in business for yourself go through the same thing. So I just kind of wanted to talk about them, give you some tips on how to overcome them, how I'm dealing with them. And just, things of that nature. Last week, we talked about dreams. It's a new year. Happy New Year to all of you. If I haven't had a chance to say Happy New Year to you. And last week, we talked about doing something that you've always wanted to do. Maybe you haven't had the courage. Maybe you've wanted to do a number of things. It doesn't necessarily have to be starting a business, but it could be doing something as taking tennis lessons or going out of the country by yourself, or just something, a dream of yours, something that you've always wanted to do. And just to give you a few snippets, we talked about fear, how fear paralyzes us and keeps us from doing that. How when you stop dreaming, pretty much, I heard someone say, they say when you stop dreaming, you're dead. And so we can never stop dreaming. We have to always, we have to keep carrying it on and keep pressing and keep moving forward. But tonight, I'm going to be talking especially to those of you who are starting businesses, who have started businesses, creators, content creators, bloggers. What if you're in that wheelhouse? I am talking to you tonight. And I'm talking about everybody's business is booming, but mine. How many times have you felt like that? Ooh, how many times have you felt like that? Just in starting your business. You guys, let me know. All of you entrepreneurs out there, type in what you do. Those of you that are wanting to start it, let me know. Just comment as I'm going. If I'm saying something that's hitting a nerve, if you want to add an addendum to what I'm saying, feel free. This is a conversation. So one of the things I know in the new year that I'm doing is to just really look back at last year and how business was. I've been in business for quite some time now, and I have been to the mountaintop and I have been to the valley. Yes, I have. I have had we've experienced, profitable months, and I've experienced months where I have lost a whole lot of money. And so that's the nature of just being in business. And then there are times where I don't have any money. And you have to be creative. So I feel like I'm definitely qualified to talk about, when, business is booming, it's good, but when it's not, you're like, what am I doing? And then sometimes it's like you're on this race, and you look to the side of you and everybody is passing you up, and you start to feel the pressure. So just a few tips. So I'm just going to start with one. The first thing you have to do when you're feeling like this, you guys, is to admit that you're frustrated. How many times have I felt, people are watching, of course, because you're in business for yourself and, you're running your business and your goal is to be successful and to sell and to move in a direction of growth. That is I think everybody's desire in life. But what do you do? And I guess I am talking to other people. What do you do when everybody is passing? You feel like everybody is passing you by. And so you're trying to be strong and I got this. And, you don't want to be embarrassed or anything like that. But the truth of the matter is you have to admit, you know what? This is not a good time. And I'm very frustrated. I'm angry. I'm sad. I mean, I had to really admit, to myself that I was feeling like that, because when truth goes forth, there is a freedom that comes with it. And when I began to be truthful with myself, I'm saying, okay, Chandra, you're feeling this. So what are we going to do? And sometimes I have my days where, where I don't want to get out the bed. I'm confused. I don't even know where to start or what to do. But you have to admit to yourself, you know what? I'm frustrated and I got to do something about it. Hello to all of you new people that are joining in. Katina Hunt, Vernetta, Carla. Let me know where you guys are coming in from. Let me know what you do, what type of business you have. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're thinking about it, let me know that in the comments as well. And so in admitting, those things to myself, I am, I'm setting myself free, and then I can begin to tackle what may be holding me back. Just those things where I feel like I'm slowing down, or it's hindering me from really reaching my goals in my business. Let's see. Number 2 I have down here. So quick story. So I like to be transparent. Some of you know, years ago, I opened up a clothing boutique. I will be opening up another one soon enough. But years ago, and one of the things that I wasn't prepared for was the slow months. So those of you that are in retail, there are slow months in retail. And so I was ambitious. I just wanted to open the doors of my boutique. I knew I wanted to be a business owner, but I hadn't calculated in, that slow time. And so it was a very frustrating time when sales, start to dwindle, but the bills are constant and you're still having to promote. And, you're thinking, what do I do at that point? And I was very much in denial about things that were going on. And I kept them to myself. And so I'm stressed out. I'm depressed. I'm trying to think of, creative ways on how to make ends meet in my business. And I wanted my business to win. And so I didn't count the cost, and I didn't admit that I was frustrated. And so it led me to a very, very dark place. And so that's one of the reasons that I wanted to come on, because I talk to other business owners all the time, and I can hear it, them feeling frustrated and what am I doing wrong? And everybody else is popping and I'm not. And I just wanted to, and I feel that way sometimes. This is coming from a personal place as well. And so my thing was, how do you deal with that? And so just in having that feeling, when I had my boutique open, I just really had to take a step back and just really unplug from things around me and just focus on the task at hand. I wasn't in competition with anyone, and you have to realize that you're not in competition. Although you have competition, you're not in competition, because it's enough to go around for everybody, no matter what industry that you're in. And you guys have to realize that everybody's opening up a boutique every day. There are life coaches all over the world. New ones are coming up each and every minute. Everybody's coming out with a masterclass. I mean, so that's going to continue. Everybody's doing a podcast. I mean, those industries are going to continue to grow. So it's like you can't beat it. So they're not your don't compete with them. They're your competition in a sense of business, but you have to just stay focused and stay true to who you are and not get distracted by all of that. So, number 2, you have to begin to dissect the areas of your business that needs attention. And so I'm talking from a business, I'm diving into business. So what I do is I write it down. I'm a writer. I have to write everything down. And if you're not a writer of things going on in your business or typing it out, you can't remember everything in your head. You have to write it down. And so I would just begin to list it, those things that are not doing well. So if it's sales, I'm writing sales. If it's marketing that I feel like I'm lacking and that I'm failing in, I'm writing marketing. And you just have to be as detailed as you possibly can, because nobody knows your business like you do. And don't go asking anyone. Just take the time to do it, because that is the only way that you can really dig into the problem of why you feel like things are slowing down, and how do you remedy it. And so I'm going to take a moment real quick. I have a question, and if you guys have questions, please feel free to put them in the comments, because I'll read them as I go. So we have Alex. As he said, as a business owner, do you ever feel in some areas you have to continue to reinvent yourself to keep up with the trends? Awesome question. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is very important to stay relevant, to stay current. And the way that you do that, you guys, is research and read. A lot of times, we become lazy and we can become consumed just with our business. And we don't think we have to stay up on what's going on. What's the next biggest thing? You have to always be ahead of the game. Always. And that is a way to definitely, stay on top, to reinvent. I've reinvented myself, God knows how many times. I'm still doing it. And it seemed like I'm always trying to do something new, but you have to do it within reason. You have to balance that out, because it could get to a place where you're always doing something new, but you find that one thing that you see is popping. So years ago, blogging, over 10 years ago, when I first started my blog, blogging wasn't a big thing. And nobody was really doing it. And I was like, oh, I need to have a fashion blog because I opened up a business. So I did a blog out of necessity, not out of want. But here we are 10 years later, and bloggers are making 7 figures. They're not even using celebrities anymore. They're using bloggers, and bloggers have become influencers. Now, if I would have known that it would have taken, blogging was going to go in that direction, I probably would be one of them, because I would have taken it a lot more seriously. But I didn't, and it's blown up. It's blown up into a $1 billion industry of being an influencer. And so that's why it's important, you guys, to read about your industry, and always perfecting your craft, and going to classes. If you're a photographer, now we've gone into a digital, it's not just plain photography now. Now we're into being very digital. If you're a blogger, now it's not just writing. Now you have to get on camera. Now you have to do video and, create storylines. It's just a number of things. If you're a motivational speaker, you become a public figure. You're not just getting up, in arenas and stadiums and things like that. Okay, what's the next thing? I need to write a book. The next thing is I need to write a book. I can't just get up and I can't just speak, but you have to keep adding and reinventing yourself. Absolutely. We have Jamila. She say, never stop learning. Never stop learning, you guys, in your business. And so when you feel that, my business isn't doing what it's supposed to do, then you just have to take an assessment. Take an assessment, write it down. First, you need to admit, I'm frustrated and I'm over this. You can have your moment, you can have your day, whatever. Just don't stay down too long. Get back up. Let's take a look at it. And two, a mentor or a trusted advisor, get you one. It could be a close friend, someone's opinions that you value, or someone that you respect. And just ask them. Just write down a list of questions, Hey, what do you think about it? Hey, Crystal, what do you think? What's your view of my business? When you look at my logo, what do you think? I'm talking asking those types of questions. What do you think about my product? Is it priced right? How am I approaching my marketing? Ask someone that you really value those types of questions to see maybe what someone is an outsider's view of what you're doing, to see what they think when they see it. Another thing is to look at people that are doing the same thing that you're doing, not in a competitive way, but in an admiring type of way. So on Instagram, I follow people that I admire that's doing the same thing that I'm doing. And I'm watching. I mean, they do it to you. Trust me, they do. They're watching you. They're seeing your next move. And so it's good. People that are really succeeding in it, and not to say that you're not succeeding, but people that are really doing their thing in that area. See, what are they doing, different? How are they reaching that target market? If you have some of the same target market. I follow people on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and you know what I do? One thing that I've learned is never be afraid to ask questions. Ever. Either people will respond or they won't. So either way, you really win. You don't know if they'll respond if you don't ask, but what if they do? And so I reach out and I ask, questions. Hey, what are your thoughts on this? Joining Facebook groups. I see someone from one of the Facebook groups I just joined. So I just started podcasting, and I didn't know anything about podcasting, but I knew it was the direction that I wanted to go. I knew that I was going to have to get on camera more and do more Facebook Lives, reinventing myself, like Alex said earlier. It's scary. This isn't the way that, I didn't have this in my marketing strategy, but it's the way. And so you have to do it. And so reach out to these people, or even, if you're not too afraid, ask them to be your mentor. I'm going to be talking about that next week. Some people are really honored and humbled, that you think that much of them to ask them to mentor you. I have mentees myself. And when they ask me, I'm like, what? You want me? But it's because people, if someone asks you to be their mentor, it's because they see something in you that can help guide them. It's something about you that they see of value. And so if you see that in someone else, don't be afraid. I have many mentors. I have life mentors. I have spiritual mentors. I have business mentors, people that I reach out because guess what, you guys, you don't know everything. I don't know everything. And you need the advice and the guidance, and of someone that may know a little bit more about you. One thing that I do, and this is another tip, is that I surround people that are experts in their field. So what I know I do best is I'm a visionary. I'm conceptual. I'm a strategist. I know that. I know that I do that well. I can take a vision. I can execute it. I've learned along the way, just through trial and error, how to market, things like. But I don't know everything, and so what I do is I reach out to people that are good in their field, and I ask them questions. And so I would definitely advise you, if you haven't started doing that, do it. Take them out to lunch. Have start a group, join a Facebook group, join a meetup group. Those are really good things. Okay, I have another question. How important does the location in your business, knowing whether or not, let's see. Okay, so his question is, how important is the location of your business and where it's planted? It depends on what type of business that you're doing. So what type of business are you thinking about doing? If it's retail, well, things have changed. Things have changed along the way. So if you're selling a product, or you're wanting to get into retail, or even the restaurant business, you're selling something. Location, it used to be very important. In business plans, they would always say location, location, location. But now with social media, with technology, and with just consumer behavior, it's changed a little bit. So you don't necessarily have to be in your prime area. Now, granted, you have to do the work. You have to do your research. If you're selling, say, a product that targets people making $200,000 to $300,000, and that's how you price your product, you're not going to go in an area where where the people are making $20,000 to $30,000. So you want to make sure that you do your homework, but it's not solely based on location. So it's some of it, but once you do your research, you'll find out where you should be and how that will work for you. So good question. So yes, Carla says it depends on whether or not you're brick and mortar. Yes, because online business is a big thing. I've transitioned from both. So I had a brick and mortar building, and then I transitioned to online. And I tell people that I've consulted with, people may think that being online is a lot easier, but it's not. A brick and mortar building, you have a higher percentage chance of having, say, drive-through traffic. But when you have an online store, you have to drive traffic to your store online, and you have to be creative. And that is a very challenging thing. I have my eyewear line. I have an online store. So I have to make sure that I'm always doing something strategically to drive traffic to my website. Yes, but that's the way everything is on our phones. Everything is digital. And so it works for me. And so you have to have definitely a strategy, a sales strategy, in order to make sure that you succeed in that area. What else did I have on here? So everybody's business is booming but yours. Let's talk about the social media myths. So social media was created, we know, it started off as a very, payback, narcissistic type of gesture when he started Facebook. And so social media has become that. People post their best life on social media. Let me say that again so we can get it into our spirits. People post their best life on social media. Nobody's getting on social media telling you when they didn't have a profitable month, or telling you when they can't get out of bed, or telling you when they broke up with their boyfriend, or telling you when they're getting a divorce. And so we can't be, we just can't be distracted by all of the good stuff and all of the, all of the wins that we're seeing people, experience on social media. When I'm telling you, you guys, that can just really do you in. First thing you do when you wake up in the morning, probably a lot of us, me included, you're looking at your social media. You're seeing what everybody is doing, and sometimes it can become taxing on you, because you're like, oh my God, they're doing this, or they got this gig, or but we post that, on social media. We post our wins, especially when you're in business. Some people to brag, others to encourage, or others just to celebrate, and that is absolutely okay. But you can't let that get you off track and get you off course by allowing, say, jealousy or envy to creep in when you're doing the best that you can, that you are executing, in your business or whatever, and and you're like, but I'm not doing that. That's okay. You have to stay in your own lane, and you have to move at your own pace. And that's the great thing about it. You are unique. Your business is unique. And everybody has a high point and everybody has a low point in business. I guarantee you, even those $1 million businesses, they have low moments. They do, where they're not winning, and that's okay. But that's where the opportunities to learn and to grow come. I have learned so much in these last, say, 13 years of being in business for myself, that I'm able to share with other people on how to be resourceful, how to do a lot of things, yourself, how to persevere, how to get back up, how to know when to quit. Because sometimes, you guys, you got to know when, yes, sometimes you have to quit. You got to stop. And sometimes that is the smartest thing to do. And so when when you're hopping on, when you're posting, and when you're seeing other people doing their thing, on social media, don't be discouraged. Know that they're human just like you, and that if you're putting in the work and you're assessing where you're lacking in your business, where you're slowing down, then you can win too. You can move forward and grow in those areas where you may not be as successful as you want to be, and that's okay. And so what I do is I don't let it get me off course. And of course, when I celebrate people. I'm seriously, I'm excited. But I have been in the company of people that get jealous of other people, and they get sidetracked, and I'm like, you're missing it. You're missing the mark. You're missing a point. You ought to use that as inspiration. I do. I'm a prayer warrior. I'm a believer. And so my faith is what keeps me going in my business, especially when I'm feeling low and down. Let's see. Yes. Oh, my pastor's on. Yes, Lorenzo. Valleys are our best teachers. They are. Oh my goodness. They are. When you're in the valley, I'm telling you, your vision gets so much clearer. I have seen some things in the valley, but one of the things that I pride myself on is never to stop. When you know that you have been called to something, and you know that you're destined to be an entrepreneur, a business owner, and operate in that gift, you guys don't let anything get you off course. Continue to move forward, to grow your craft, to go to classes, go to seminars, go to workshops. I'm picky about them. I don't go to every workshop, but the ones that I think will benefit me, I go. I do. I'm always learning. I'm always trying to build myself up and be more than I already am. And for me, I'm going to continue to do it because I love what I do. I love creating, and I hope you love what you do too. Because if you're in business, let me drop this. If you're in business to make money, like that is your number one motivation. As a business owner, you always want to profit. Do not get me wrong. But if you have started a business and your number one goal was to make money, then I'm sorry to tell you, but at some point, there is going to be a level of dissatisfaction that is going to come, and it's not going to be enough because all it was making money. But if you're dedicated and you're passionate about it, then I definitely feel like, you're on the right path. It has room to grow into something else, and you have to allow it to do that. So you guys, what to do when everybody's business is booming but yours, you feel like? Number one, pray. Pray. Number two, admit that you're frustrated and, you mad, like I ain't feeling this, and it is what it is, and you don't have to tell everybody that you're not feeling it, but be in that moment. Have your day, not days, not weeks, but have your day. Sit down, write down the areas that you feel like your business is weak in, that you want to thrive more. Write it down specifically. My marketing I've said it to myself, my marketing is whack. I need to look into that. So I'm going to look up articles. I'm going to read about, my industry and how other people, I'm going to take a look at people in my industries to see what they're doing. And I'm not going to copy them, but I'm going to take techniques and notes and tips from what they're doing, and I'm going to apply it to what I'm doing and put my own little spin to it. And I'm going to look at people that I admire, and some of them I probably will reach out to that I don't even know. I'm on Twitter all the time, and I'm asking questions, and I'm on Instagram, and and I'm posting comments. Number two, you guys, don't get jealous. Don't get envious. Celebrate those people that are doing well, because I promise you, when you celebrate them, the blessings flow. When your heart is pure, and I'm a living testimony. Sometimes when I'm at my lowest is when I go and I sow a seed into someone else. My mother used to tell me that all the time. Chandra, when you are feeling down and out, go do something nice. And there have been times where my last dollar, not necessarily, but when I'm at my last, I may go and buy someone a box of cookies or a $10 gift. I'll just sow something into someone else. And when I say my whole mood would change, it changed. It changes immediately. And so celebrate people that are doing awesome in your circle, people that may not be in your circle, just around. Always make sure that you're celebrating, because when you do that, that is encouragement to them, and it's encouragement to you. And know that you're no different than them. You are a winner. You started this business, some with nothing, some people with thousands or hundreds of thousands, but by any means, you started it and you're doing it now. And so be encouraged by that, you guys, and know that, what else? And also, know that with with this journey that you're on in being in business, because it's not an easy one, comes highs and lows. And the question is, how do you deal with that when those lows come? But then how do you deal with it when the wins come, when the highs come? You always have to be on top of your game. And so one thing, some people say I'm a perfectionist. And when I feel like I'm winning, sometimes to me, I don't know how to celebrate that win. I always feel like, this isn't good enough. I need to do more. But you guys, stop and celebrate that moment, because if you don't, you'll always be on a treadmill. You'll always be running, trying to get it, and you'll never feel like you're succeeding when you really are. So that's what I wanted to get on and share with you guys. Okay, Carla, what is my Twitter handle? How can I type this in? I'll type it in. My Twitter handle is Dingy Fashion, DINJII Fashion. I will post it in the comments. I'm getting used to this Facebook Live, so I don't quite know how to type it in. But you guys, if you have any questions, feel free. Make sure that you, any business questions, dealing with business, post them. I'll definitely reply, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Y'all have a blessed night.